It sounds stupid to say, but but at least we all die, you know?
Yeah, the concept of self will certainly fall away, at least in part, when you die. But before
Okay.
I get to you, Ivan, and you're next, but I would like to say this real quick. Even right now, your concept of self is very much tied with your personhood. And so when you die, this concept of self will lose its ties to this personhood, the details of this personhood. However, right now, you are already consciousness. And so
Yeah.
there are still ties in consciousness that are likely to persist after death. That's why we hear about these near-death experiences, and people still seem to be looking from a localized perspective. It's because there's still an amalgamation of consciousness, a bundle of consciousness that believes in selfhood even after death. Perhaps that consciousness no longer believes that it's this person, but it still believes that it's something, and that's why it continues to be localized. And yeah, right there, Jeff. And,
Yeah. I just dropped my camera on the floor for Christ's sake.
everything is for Christ's sakes. And so and so there's likely to be still this bundle of thought that believes itself to be consciousness, even after death. And so after death isn't necessarily full enlightenment, not necessarily, but a lot of this identity structure falls away when the personhood dies.
It was like pure white light.
Mm-hmm.
And in this white light that was all encompassing, not like all allowing love, something has like the person first felt a bliss, like
Mm.
I'm home, you know. And then like, oh, the love is too strong. Felt like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. You see?
Mm-hmm.
This like this death, like direct fear of death
Mm-hmm.
is the only thing I can describe it as. And it contracted like something like I guess here in the heart or somewhere like that. You know, there's like a narrowing and bang, I was out of the experience. Still, it was very. I mean, a lot of things have happened, but every time I hit upon this specific person, like sense of personhood, it feels like I'm gonna die, and then it runs away.
Mm.
You see what I mean? Like if you
Totally.
go deep into meditation, like you still mentioned that Osho said, go deep enough, and you said go deep enough into meditation, and it's gonna feel like that. And this specific ego is scared shitless
Mm-hmm.
of that light. So what is it that is scared of the light? What is it that is scared
Identity.
of awareness? What is that?
Attach.
How is I mean, yeah, that's my question. So
First of all, that pure white light that you describe is where we all go if we go far enough into meditation, because the light of knowing is what you're talking about. That is what we are. This space between thoughts is what you're talking about. That pure white light is the absolute, no longer looking through the lens of personhood. It's just pure luminous knowing. That is as deep as one can go in meditation. That is the space of enlightenment from which all of this comes forth into the play of reality. And when you go there, if you get close enough, personhood blips out. And right before that happens, there is a fear barrier that arises. There's this fear of deletion, this fear that the self will no longer persist, that you'll die. And all sorts of thoughts are likely to rush in, like, oh no, what? I can't have, my partner find me dead on this couch meditating. Like, what will they think? Like there's all these thoughts that come rushing in, and I've experienced all these as well. I know exactly the fear you're talking about because I've experienced it as well. But it won't happen. You are already this in every moment. It's just the attachment to identity that will fall away. The identity won't necessarily fall away, but it's the attachment to identity that will die. Like
Right.
what? Like
It feels like a survival mechanism, like the survival mechanism itself gets triggered.
yeah, yeah.
Like the thing, okay, I've kept you alive for many lifetimes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now you want me to die? Just like that?
It's an instinctual reaction.
You see
You're
what I
right.
mean?
Totally.
Like
It's
something
instinctual.
along those lines, but that's just a mental thing. When it comes as pure fear. It doesn't come as a thought. It comes as just like, you see what I
Yeah,
mean?
totally.
Yeah.
You're right. It doesn't arrive as a thought necessarily. It can for some. It arises as an energy of
Yeah,
fear.
it becomes thought later,
Right.
but first
Yeah.
it comes as a narrowing of consciousness. I
Right.
feel as a clenching. You
Right.
see,
Right.
this only happened like 3 times in my life. I think I spoke to you in one comment about it. Like 3 times this happened. Like I was sitting in an ayahuasca ceremony, and the shaman says, "Tonight, you allow everything. Anything that comes to you, you allow it." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's it, man. I'm allowing everything now." And in middle of that ceremony, like I'm looking at the ceiling, and a portal opens, like a fucking white light portal opens above me and about several people in the room, and this like mechanical, multi-dimensional mechanical light device comes from this portal towards the heart, towards me, and I'm like, "Whoa, look at this! This is so beautiful." I was like, "Whoa," like a little kid. And it came closer to the heart, this white light. It was a device, so it was a form. It wasn't pure white light. It was made of, but it had a form. And when it came too close, something in me again, what do you want? You know, what is it you want? And the very thing that happened that moment, I was out of the experience. I was hiding again, running again from this, because this was going to tap into that survival mechanism that triggers every time without fail when there it is faced with a awareness, with a, this. I mean, this wasn't like the pure awareness. This was a form, but it was enough to trigger it. You see what I mean?
Totally.
Totally different thing. Like it wasn't meditation, it was an ayahuasca ceremony, whatever, but it triggered the same part of this personhood that clings to, I don't know, to something, to some identity, you know, like a little child that is scared and wants to bolt. You see, that's the thing that comes up, you know?
Well, the instructor for your ayahuasca ceremony approached it entirely correct, and that is to allow all that comes. And I invite you to do the same in your regular meditation and in life. Allow all that comes, because pure awareness is pure allowance. And so to allow all that comes is the correct attitude. It's the attitude of your fundamental nature. And I invite you to continue to try to enter into that pure white space, because in that pure white space, you said there's forms and a
I couldn't.
technology a technology.
I can't on demand do it. I tried many times, Chris. It only happened
Sure.
2 times. It's not like okay, snap my fingers, I'm there. No. It usually happens when I'm not trying to do anything. When I
Perfect.
sit, like I'll go like wherever, you know, and sit in meditation, and nothing will happen most of the time. But like the other day, I was walking through the woods, and all of a sudden I realized that it's right there. It's right there. No big bangs, no nothing. The awareness is right there. The awareness that you're talking about, that Muji's talking about, that Eckhart is talking about it, whoever is talking about is right there. Like the width of a thought. And then in that moment, I realized that width of a thought is a thought, you know, but it is this close. It's very close.
How
There is
far
no
is it?
distance.
Good.
Precisely. And I wasn't trying to do anything. I was just walking through the woods. Yeah, there was no practice. Just spontaneously happened. So I guess maybe that is the.
I have no notes. That's beautiful. Just continue to hold this perspective, hold this sort of energy of attitude that allow all that comes. You're in Ivan, you're in close enough proximity to this. That doesn't happen for most people. You're in close enough proximity to this that this will just happen. People awaken in all sorts of different scenarios. It can happen when you're walking through the woods or when you're meditating. And it doesn't always necessarily look like an introduction to pure white light, but it can. Because ultimately that's what everything is made of. Isn't all color just made of pure white light? And so everything that you see as you look around is just a specific rate of vibration of pure white light. And you were introduced to this directly.
Yes, I was, but the thing is, to know it in the moment, sometimes it is not like when I know it, when I'm in the presence of it, it is crystal clear that it has always been here.
Mm-hmm.
It is not something that comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other day when I was walking through the woods, it's just there. It has always been there. It will always be there. There is nothing
Always been here.
standing between, because everything is it. There is nothing that is not it.
Everything is a coloring of that.
Precisely. That is the way to describe it, and you describe it beautiful. By the way, you have great vocabulary for this.
Mhm.
But the thing is, it is not to know it as a concept. It itself doesn't come and go, but awareness of it for this personal perspective seems to come and go.
Notice you said awareness of. And so anything that comes after the of, awareness of, will always come and go. But the awareness is that pure white light. And it never comes and goes. We are just seeing the refraction of this pure white light as the myriad of things, as the myriad of our experiences, our senses. Everything is a fractalization of the pure white light that you are, right now. And whether it looks like this to people, whether people see this pure white light or not, isn't necessarily important. But know in your direct experience that everything is a fractalization of this pure white light. Even scientifically, you know this. All color is made of pure white light. And everything that you see around you right now, even if you're colorblind, is a refraction of that pure white light. Isn't all color made of white light a refraction or a specific vibration of white?
Correct.
And this white that we're describing is actually colorless. The mind comes up with white, but it's colorless presence. It's the presence between thoughts. Notice the relationship between all these things. There is no relationship between all these things. It's all one thing. It's all pure presence. It's all pure awareness. It's all pure, white, luminous knowing. That's what we all essentially are. And so, Ivan, don't be afraid. Like, if you encounter that again, it's already what you are. It's just the attachment to identification that has an instinctual self-protection mechanism that feels like an uprising of fear, the energy of fear. You're already
Yes.
this. So don't be afraid.
So what is my practice?
Your practice is just
Say,
to allow what comes in regular life. Life for you, for all of us, is meditation. If you are in satsang, you are on the path of direct realization. You are in the fast lane of direct realization. Part of your soul has chosen the direct path. And so meditation is no longer just on the cushion for you. Life is meditation. Accept all that comes. Because that is the attitude, the vibrational attitude of pure awareness. It's pure allowance. Pure allowance, like we talked about is unconditional love. It allows all things, accepts all things as they are. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. Thank you. All my love.